guys! Good morning! Happy weekend! So today, lalaboy na naman po kami. Lalabas po kami ngayon with Machoy and Lola Bear. So,
We're going to see Primo.
Yeah, we're gonna see Primo. We're gonna meet some friends po over the weekend. And while driving, as always, we're gonna do podcast. So, today, we're gonna talk about yung mga facts and myths ng freelancers o ng remote workers, yung mga sinasabi nila na totoo ba to o hindi. So, let's answer and let's debug yung mga facts and myths na yun. So, yung agenda for today is basically discuss everything or discuss the list that we have regarding the facts and myths sa remote work at saka sa freelancing, and then also provide you some answers based on our experience. And at the same time, if you guys have additional myths and facts na naririnig nyo that you would like to have answers din po, feel free to comment down below. Alright? So, yung first na nasa listahan namin, sabi dito, freelancers and remote workers have unlimited free time. Ito ba yun? Unlimited ba yung free time? I mean, unlimited ba yung time natin as remote workers? Sa'yo?
For my case, I can say na siyempre hindi. We all have 24 hours. Wala naman akong kilalang may 25 hours or 28 hours sa isang araw. So, technically hindi siya totoo. So, napakalaking bagay sa mga remote workers and time management. Minsan, mas critical pa siya. Kasi, kala mo matagal pa. Yung kunyari, yung reporting time mo is 8:30 or 9. As a remote worker, hindi ka naman mag-start kumilos ng 8. Alam mo, matagal pa yun. Magugulat ka na lang, ano na siya, 8:20 na, 8:25 na, or ganun. Or let's say yung end ng shift. Kala mo matagal pa, mamaya pa mo kukunin ng boss mo or ng supervisor mo. Then magugulat ka na lang, hinahanap niya na kasi time na. So, for me, hindi siya ganun ka-unlimited. You just need to use it efficiently and properly. Like, yung sample ko last time, pwede ko naman attendan yung iba kong work sa after shift ko. Pag medyo tinatamad ako, gusto ko lang mag-relax sa current shift ko. Pero again, it's all about priority. Kailangan mo pa rin i-manage if it's priority or not. If it's need to be delivered immediately, then yeah, hindi mo siya pwede set aside. Pero pag tingin mo naman na may time pa or hindi naman urgent yung requirement, pwede mo siyang set aside.
I guess siguro yung sinasabi din nila, babe, kung na unlimited free time or unlimited time is because some freelancers get to have the option na mag-work ng ilang trabaho.
Yeah.
So, obviously po, kahit sino, whether you're working sa office or working po remotely, wala po tayong unlimited free time. It's just really a matter of managing your time. So, making sure that you have right schedule, kagaya po ng sabi niya, and kumbaga alam natin which one is yung priority, which one needs to go first, and at the same time, we also have family naman. So, it's not just about work. So, making sure na meron din tayong ample of time for our family. So, yes, I mean, it's a no. We don't have unlimited free time as remote workers. It's just managing the schedule, I guess, yung sinasabi natin na for remote workers. Next, remote work is less productive than office work. Talaga ba? I'm not sure bakit nila sinabi yun. So, sabi dito, less productive. Actually, based experience, I would say no. Kasi, dito nga nagkakaroon ng yung sinasabi nila na you don't have the separation of work at saka yung personal mo, kasi at times, kahit na you're already out of your shift, but then because malapit lang yung table mo, yung laptop mo andyan open, or minsan ano lang siya, bedside lang siya, so madali lang kumaga magtrabaho. I guess siguro sinasabi nilang less productive, it's because of the distraction. Sa
Yeah,
akin.
siguro less productive in a way na sa office syempre most likely gagamit yan ng mga safe or
Software.
high priority na internet connections, like may mga dedicated na point or connection, something like that. Pero pag syempre pag sa residential ka, prone ka sa outage, stuff like that. So yun, siguro doon ang gagaling stigma, like power outage, connection outage. Unlike pag nasa office is more on mas steady, yung mga ganong klaseng resource.
And syempre, if you are working in the office, you only have a limited time for you to be able to do work. So, ang nagiging idea is, you have to finish your work within the shift. Or else, syempre, uuwi ka ng late, which will cause traffic and all that. Pero pag nasa bahay ka lang nagwo-work, you have ample time to actually finish your work. And even more time after hours para gawin pa yung ibang work. So I think it's more productive para sa akin if you are working at home, because you might be able to also finish or at least start yung ibang trabaho mo on the next day. So the next day, medyo lax ka na. So yun, sa akin. And yan, sabi ko nga din, baka siguro yung stigma is also coming from the distractions na people would say they're less productive because they're not always on their table or they're doing something else, blah, blah, blah. But it's not always the case. And just based on our experience, we feel like it's more productive to work from home. So, and we provide more productivity or more result sa trabaho namin.
Yeah, sa akin naman, siguro add ko lang. Para sa akin ang productivities, hindi naman dependent kung working ka remote or working ka on-site. Productivity is state of mind mo yun kung kailan ka ready to go sa work mo. Like for example, let's compare report to office freelancers or remote workers. Napapasok ng 8:30 without any advance preparation. Yung papasok sa office ng 8:30, galing yan sa traffic, galing yan sa siksikan, galing yan sa mainit na biyahe, na commute. So most likely, tendency ang gagawin yan sa office is magko-cool down muna yan. Mag-ano muna yan, mag-coco, water, coffee, stuff like that. Pag-chikamba yan sa opisina. Mga ganon. Based on experience lang So, unlike kay remote worker, sa akin, personally again, pagkagising ko medyo siguro lang, good 10 to 15 minutes na tulala lang. Okay na ako. Good to go na ako. Hindi na rin naman ako ganun ka-dynamic or ka-active na pagkagising ko, running condition ako agad. Medyo kailangan ko rin ng onting kick-up coffee. Yan, parang ganun. So, in terms of productivity on the go, para sa akin, si remote worker, nakapag-start ka agad sa work. Then, yeah, so, yeah.
The third one? Yep. So yung third myth na sa list namin is freelancers struggle to find consistent work. Actually, may nabasa nga ako sa Facebook page. Sabi nila, freelancing is not stable. It's not, and I think for me, any other work, kahit po sa opisina, like corporate works, hindi po siya magiging stable if we are not going to commit ourselves to be efficient and be effective dun sa work na pinirmahan natin. So, sa akin, it's not really about whether you're working from home or not. Yung stability ng work, at some point, depends on what you do at work. But if it's about like siguro yung volatility ng trabaho, yes, at times, depende sa kung ano po yung pinasok yung industry. There will be times na, let's say, you were able to start working for that company. Let's just say real estate. So may mga factors naman like ano man nangyayari sa panahon ngayon, inflation. So, pag nasa real estate ka, I'm sure makaka-relate po yung mga real estate VAs natin dyan. Hindi po siya ganon ka-stable. But there are also other work that can be done remotely that are stable. So, I know people that have been working remotely for over 5 years. And, doon masasabi ko na somehow, may stability. So, whether you're working from home or not, it really depends sa situation, sa industry, sa ating performance, sa like, I guess yung situations din ng clients natin, like clients that would lost their businesses, ganyan, for whatever reason. So, we're there.
Kaya sa akin, agree ako dun sa hindi siya ganun ka-stable. Like, usually naman, let's be honest, karamihan ng mga freelancers or remote workers is working for small to medium companies or enterprise lang. Bihirang-bihira naman yung freelancers para kay IBM. Ang ganun. Else, consultant ka. Pero kung typical freelancers na gaya lang natin, vulnerable tayo dun sa bigla sila magsasara, bigla sila mag-change ng plan. So, kailangan, it's either umalis tayo or mag-adjust tayo sa hindi natin gusto. Like, for my case, yung recent work ko, nag-adjust siya na instead of typical software firm, dahil nakapag-produce siya ng isang platform para sa isang malaking Singaporean company, mag-change ila to be a more technical and support team na hindi align sa long-term plan ko sa career ko. Mas gusto ko pa rin yung being a BA or a PM, project manager or business analyst. And they're asking me to be a technical support, and then hindi ako nag-agree, so yun, nag-change ako. So I think para sa akin yun yung stability wise, pwedeng mag-iba talaga. So the main strength dapat rin ni remote workers to be flexible enough, like for example, if BA ka, huwag kang maging BA for one company lang or one business. Try to evolve, to be a BA or a bookkeeper or a multimedia or a social media, something like that. So again, yes and no yung sagot ko doon sa topic. Like, maapektuhan ka ng pag-close nila, pero if geared ka enough, kaya mo pumasok sa iba-ibang industry.
Agree.
Ikaw pa susuko sa time.
Totoo yan.
Sa daming opportunity.
Totoo yung sinasabi niya na you have to be flexible and that you also have to invest for yourself kasi, yun nga, yung like if you want to stay in this industry, you should not stop learning. Yun yung number one siguro na tip ko. You have to like adjust and be flexible and to learn more. Like for example, sabi nga niya, the company switch into a technical setup. So para sa kanya, if you are a VA or a remote worker and you would like to stick with that particular role lang, ang magiging setup maybe not like you not be able to extend more work with the company. And syempre ngayon medyo congested na tayo sa industry. Marami na talaga ang aspiring VAs na mga, at hindi lang Philippines ha. So meron ng mga Mexicans, meron ng mga Indians, meron ng iba't iba din ng mga lahi na nag-venture out dito sa ganitong industry. So, we have to equip ourselves to become more efficient and more effective sa niche na pinili natin. And even more, I guess, learning other things other than our niche, like outside our niche. To see whether, if in case kailanganin din ng clients natin or our future clients, then at least meron tayong bala ba na masasabi or additional skill on our portfolio. So, yeah. That's it for the myth number 3. Myth number 4 is, or facts number 4 is, malaki ang sahod daw sa freelance industry. Do you agree?
Yep. Sa akin, case to case again, pwedeng like kung what do you define, how do you define malaki sahod? Kung isa lang, tapos average lang naman skills natin, I don't think na magiging edge yun, or dahil freelancer ka mas malaki sweldo mo, hindi siya ganun. Pero dahil nga mas marami tayong time, like hindi natin kailangan mag-ubos sa travel, sa preparation, etc. Pwede pa tayo kumuha ng iba. pwede tayo kumuha ng another work or pwede tayo kumuha ng other gig or part-time. So, from that sense, I think, yeah, mas malaki opportunity mo. Pero kung sa compare sa report to office, outright, syempre, kung malaking company, malaki tendency, magbibigay ka agad ng malaking offer. Malaki ka agad yung earnings mo. Pero, stick ka doon. Or hindi ka ganun ka, ano yung term sa ganun? Yung flexible. Anyway, yung hindi ka
Siguro,
basta makakakuha ng ibang work. Lalo na nasa contract yan, for sure.
Yeah, in addition, siguro kung saan pa natin kino-compare yung sahod na sinasabi natin. So, yung laki ng sahod would always depend to yung skills natin. So, again, going back to what I said earlier, we have to always invest to ourselves and for ourselves. Kasi, para mas, kung gusto ko talaga lumaki yung sahod mo, you'd be able to provide more like work or provide more assistance. Value yun. Yan yung right term. Value sa clients natin.
Huwag ka naman mag-expect na nag-excel ka lang. Ano ka na? Why not try to learn Zero or other or tools ng mga company mo?
Yes,
maging
correct.
expert ka doon, maging efficient ka doon.
Yes, that's right.
By that time, kung equip ka doon, then you can ask better rate.
Yes. And yun nga, going back dun sa efficiency and effectivity natin, dun sa skills na pinoprovide natin or dun sa value and worth natin dun sa trabaho natin, lagi siya nakadepend sa gagawin natin para sa sarili natin. So if we want to be stuck with yung kung ano na lang yung alam natin, then definitely yung increase ng sahod or yung possible for us to earn more, possibility to earn more, medyo I think magiging magiging stuck ka lang doon. But sa freelance kasi, gaya ng sabi niya, you have the option to work for 1, 2, 3 clients, and I know people that can work even up to 5 clients or more. And again, that's going to be based on how you manage your schedule din. So yun siguro yung nagkakaroon ng kahit pa paano financial freedom, I guess, not puro freedom I guess yung option to earn more, yun nga. So, yeah, yun yung sa akin. Yun yung take ko doon. Marami talagang option para kumita ka as long as you are hardworking.
For example, sa bookkeeping.
Yeah. A good example sa...
Pwede ka kumuha ng mas maraming client kung kaya mo i-manage.
Yes. Or, kung hindi mo naman kaya ng multiple clients, just upskill yourself para your client would be able to see your value and be able to, provide you increase sa work natin. Or, increase sa salary natin, not work. Yeah, so, yes po, malaki ang kita sa freelancing. But, the downside of that is, kagaya nga nung sinabi kanina, which is the other myth, is, hindi siya ganon stable yung work. So, ang pinaka-tip namin dyan is to make sure that while you are earning, you're also saving, you're investing para ready tayo for tomorrow if in case something happens. Yeah. Next topic is remote workers are always available and never off the clock.
Sa akin, pwedeng oo. Yeah. Kasi yun yung naging expectation sa akin sa Singaporean company that 9 to 6, then they're still expecting me to answer client inquiries kung malapit lang naman daw sa shift. So yeah, I think maapektuhan dun yung work-life balance. So again, I decided na mag-move na lang sa next opportunity. Pero dapat hindi ganun. I mean, dapat choose your wellness pa rin. Huwag mong ilagay lahat ng oras mo sa lahat yung kunyari 24 hours, 16 hours ka lang gising. Huwag mo ilagay 16 hours mo dun sa work mo. Marami pang factor or marami pang aspect na dapat paglagyan ng oras, like anak, sa family, sa sarili mo. Syempre, kahit 1 to 2 hours maglakad-lakad ka lang, mag-exercise ka nun. Yan. So yeah, from case to case, from time to time, pwede ka maging available around the clock. Pero, still, prioritize yourself sa yung family mo. Huwag mong ubusin lahat ng oras mo sa work. Unless, single ka, or walang dependent sa'yo, then, I think applicable sa'yo yun. Pero pag family man ka na, I think, always choose mo na yung priorities. Always manage your priorities.
Okay. Moving on, so ano ba yung benefits ng freelancing and remote work para sa'yo?
Benefits, again, usual na like yung mga past videos natin sinabi. Ang benefits ng remote work sa akin is more freedom sa time, more flexibility. Like, hindi ko kailangan gumising lagi ng 6 para mag-prepare, para pumasok ng 8:30. Pwede akong gumising minsan ng 6 pag gusto ko gumising dahil may gagawin akong iba. Or pwede naman ako gumising ng 8 or 8:15 pag pagod ako kagabi at kailangan ko bumawi ng tulog. So, yung time, yung flexibility na binibigay sa akin, yun, napaka-value sa akin ng flexibility sa time.
Sa akin naman, yung diverse opportunities. So, back when I was working sa corporate world, I didn't know na I am capable of working with different, clients, like international clients. And even yung bang para sa akin, para makagawa ka ng mga bagay na right now, hindi ko talaga inisip na kaya kong gawin. So, and then at the same time, learn more, like, I guess, jobs and tasks na dati parang pang-accountant lang yan eh. Diba? Like, for example, bookkeeping. Feeling ko, hindi ko siya kayang gawin because hindi ako accountant, hindi ako bookkeeper by profession. But then, with this setup, I was able to actually do it without even having those license or even those training na meron tayo locally. So, and then of course, yung financial. Yun yung pinakatalagang malaking benefit getting into this industry. Yung earning mo, na like for example, on a monthly basis, 30,000 sa regular or corporate world or yung mga startups, or yung mga regular na VAs or staff, you can earn more than that. And malinis pa. And at some point, may mga clients na nagpo-provide na ng mga other benefits like leaves and HMOs. So, yeah, those are the benefits that I think na talagang sabi ko nakuha ko within this industry. So, yeah, I guess yung pinaka-tips namin for those that are interested and that are aspiring to become part of this industry is really to become more flexible and invest in yourself, like as in mag-aral kayo, ano ba yung gusto niyo i-improve sa sarili niyo for your preferred niche. There's a lot of courses, training, you can go to Google, YouTube, ang dami pong options talaga. And every day, sasabihin ko sa inyo na you have to learn and be patient kasi this industry is not for everyone. And
going to eat cake.
Yes, we are now going to eat cake. Andito na po kami sa location. Yeah, na kung saan namin meet yung mga friends namin. But just to wrap it up, freelancing and remote work, guys, hindi po siya, lagi ko tong inuulit-ulit, it's not walk in the park. And it takes a lot of hard work, patience, and commitment. And at the same time, yun nga, yung love for you to improve yourself. Kasi yun talaga kailangan mo yung wag kang tumigil na mag-improve so that you can be able to achieve kung ano yung goal mo, like financial ba or really yung mga job opportunities or even going abroad kasi may mga papadala sa ibang bansa because of that. Any other else?
Ano ba yung sasabihin?
Tips.
Yeah, again, siguro para sa akin, root word ko kanina or yung main sana is being flexible, being dynamic, willing to adjust, depends on the scenario. Or on the other side, pwede ka rin maging laser focus sa gusto mo. Yun yung kailangan mo pag nasa remote work. So, balance mo yun. Pwede kang maging dynamic in a way like ako, as a BA or PM, dun sa ground ng being a BA or PM, willing ako matuto ng testing, ng konti sa designing, ng konti sa deployment. Pero laser focus pa rin ako na hindi ako dapat lumayo dun sa main career growth ko dahil eventually aalis din naman talaga tayo dyan sa company. Wala naman sigurong remote worker na 30 years na dyan or mas matagal. So again, i-combine yun, yung pagiging dynamic, adjustable, with the being laser focus sa target mo sa career mo. I think yun para sa akin yun ang magiging perfect weapon natin sa pagiging freelancers or remote workers.
Alright, well, that wraps up our topic for today. If in case may mga questions or myths and facts pa kayo na you would like to know kung totoo ba o hindi, just comment down below so we would be able to answer that. Yes. So we can answer that for you. And at the same time, if you feel na you have other I guess thoughts about those what we have said, feel free to comment down below, and we'll see you guys on our next podcast. Bye guys! Happy weekend!
Stop recording.